Good evening and thanks for joining us on our live stream. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jesse Gunkel from the Storm Tracker Weather Team. And as you see here, we've got a pretty dynamic storm system developing across portions of Texas, Oklahoma, now moving into Arkansas, moving into portions of Missouri. In fact, a massive winter storm system, a lot of heavy snow now across much of the Midwest with this system. As you see here, this is an outflow boundary well ahead of that advancing cold front. But that's what we need to watch out as we head into early tomorrow morning. You can see how that tail end is really starting to explode. And as this system drives up towards the northeast, well, our time of arrival early tomorrow morning. It looks like between 5 and noon. That's where we're going to see the biggest impacts here in the capital area. As you see, again, we've got a few isolated thunderstorms out there of concern. Some of those even developing well ahead of that line in northern Texas at this point, just a little bit northeast of the Dallas area. Notice also tornado watches in place from southern Missouri through Arkansas, now including northwest Louisiana, including portions of northeast Texas, and then also another one a little bit further back along with that. This yellow box, that is a severe thunderstorm watch. Again, for us, all the action is going to happen later on tonight. Right now, just a few light showers. I think we may see a few individual thunderstorms getting to that strong category a little bit after midnight. But just know that it will be a very breezy night out there. We are underneath a wind advisory until most likely late tomorrow. We're seeing some wind gusts now up to about 25 miles per hour. Notice over in Lafayette coming in at 30. Expect the gusts to pick up tonight to about 30 to maybe even 40 miles per hour. So if you haven't done so already, lawn furniture, anything that's loose that could get picked up by some pretty strong winds in your backyard or front yard, put it away now. Put it in that garage or bring it inside at this point because, again, those winds will start to increase overnight. And really, we are just kind of ramping up the atmosphere tonight. We're going to have those winds swirling in all directions throughout the area. We're going to have our humidity levels. It's still very warm outside. We're still sitting in the 70s. It's very humid. Precipitable water valleys, again, that's the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, very high. So, again, there is that chance for some heavy downpours. And as you see for tonight, the window is from 6 a.m. until 6 a.m., or so Friday morning until Saturday morning, 6 a.m. So most of what you're going to see here is going to happen overnight, and that's mainly for areas just along I-20 or for northern portions of the state from Monroe all the way to Ruston and Shreveport, possibly down to Natchitoches. And you see they fall underneath that red area. That is a moderate risk, and that's 4 out of 5 on the scale. Besides that, they fall underneath a hatched area. That is a 10% chance for significant severe weather. That means if they do get tornadoes, we're talking EF2 and greater. Could be long track tornadoes, meaning being on the ground for quite a few miles. We could be seeing wind gusts greater than 75 miles per hour. And yes, we're talking some hail, maybe in that 2-inch diameter category or above. So again, this could be a pretty decent system driving through. As you notice, again, for us, a closer look, we fall underneath a slight risk, and that's just mainly until about 6 o'clock in the morning. Once we get past 6 a.m., that threat shifts directly on top of us for the entire viewing area. That even includes New Orleans and all of our parishes just along the coast. In fact, because of those very strong winds out there tonight and early tomorrow, there is a coastal flood advisory. But again, we fall underneath that hatched area, mainly just across the state line. So southern Mississippi, obviously under major concern right now as we head into those morning hours. And I think that timetable, if you look at it a little bit closer here, you'll see that we do fall underneath that enhanced risk for severe weather. That puts us at a 3 out of 5, but it's going to start out probably between 5 and about 7 isolated thunderstorms that could be rotating storms, therefore producing tornadoes. That's what we got to watch out here in the capital area. As the morning progresses, by the time we get to about mid-morning, so from about 8 o'clock to most likely 10, that's when that main line will be driving through. And I think that's when we're going to see those straight line winds. That's where we could be seeing widespread damage and power outages. And then it quickly races off towards the east. I think we do have a couple things working in our favor. One being it's going to be during the daylight hours, so we'll have a little time to wake up before these storms arrive. And it should be a narrow band of thunderstorms, meaning in and out quickly, not dumping dropping too much in the way of rainfall. We may get about 1 inch to 2 inches out there with this system, but I do want to point that all modes of severe weather are possible with this system. So watch your future cast, and as you see here, obviously, we'll go quiet until just after midnight. That's when we can see a couple thunderstorms develop. Notice around 6 a.m., a lot of those storms are going to be in that isolated category with that main line driving through Acadiana. As we progress a little bit forward here, you'll see that going into about 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that time frame, it's going to be marching right through the capital area on the west side of the Mississippi, right through the downtown area, probably around 8, a little bit to the east by 8:39, and then by the time we get to about 10, 11, it should be on the other side, the east side of I-55. But notice kind of in the mix here, we're kind of bows a little bit. That's where, again, those winds get very strong. Even along this line, we could see some embedded tornadoes, some spin-ups out there. So be on high alert. Have multiple ways to receive warnings. We'll start to quiet things down quickly, I believe, on the back side of the system. Front pushes through by tomorrow evening, and then we quickly cool things off going into early on Sunday. So just have a game plan. If you hear a tornado warning, your phone starts buzzing like mad, well, just get to that, have a game plan, put it into action. Make sure you move to the lowest level of your home, move to an interior room well away from windows. You don't want to get hit by flying debris. And if you live in a mobile home, have another way to, or another place to go. Again, something that's a little bit safer with some sturdier walls. Also, have multiple ways to receive warnings in case if one method fails at this point. A NOAA weather radio is great. It's an awesome feature. It's loud, and you get those warnings instantaneously. But also, you can follow us on television. We're going to have updates on the radio. You can tune in there. We're going to have alerts through our mobile app, so make sure you go ahead and download that. We're also going to continue to stream on BeOurProud.com as we get into those morning hours. So we're going to walk you through this entire process. And also, just to get you the very latest updates, you can also follow me on Facebook at meteorologist Jesse Gunkel, and you also can follow along on Twitter at Jesse Gunkel for the very latest. But yes, we will walk you through the system overnight. We're going to have complete team coverage through the overnight and early morning hours of tomorrow until this entire system passes. Thanks for joining us.